We grew up on television. The tube was our babysitter. Guide us through the tube. Moral sent by transmitter. This is where you go to get down to the know about great TV shows all on one show. It's time for some TGIF right here on Pop Culture Minefield. Thank God it's Friday on Pop Culture Minefield. Thank God it's Friday on Pop Culture Minefield. Thank God it's Friday on Pop Culture Minefield.
All right, it's Friday. Yeah.
Already?
So, yeah. I know,
I'm
another
just
week.
going to believe you because I don't know.
It just seems like we
anything
just
right
had
now.
hump day. And oh, that was right. We did it yesterday instead of Wednesday. So that's why this week
Yeah.
seems so much faster.
Dude, I don't even know
Because-
whether it's day or night. I'm all backwards with jet lag.
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's gonna be weird for you for at least another week for sleeping shit like that. So but anyway,
It's so
welcome.
much harder this way. It took me 3 days when I came over to America, and now it's just like
Well,
sucks.
that it is because you had an incentive to feel well when you were in America.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm talking to Lauren today out in the living room. And she says, what I really love about Anima is how she just takes you as you are. You know, she doesn't judge you. And I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I wouldn't judge you. What?
I'm a good looking dude. What are you talking about?
I mean, you're old, but I don't care.
Okay, you know, fuck both of you today. So we are at the end of another week, and we're going to be talking about this show From. And I'm so torn with this show because I'll enjoy
It's
something
getting
and then I'll be
weird.
annoyed by something the next minute.
Yeah.
Their use of drama is very infuriating. And fake drama is what I'm talking about. That fake ass fucking
They have good
suddenly
drama,
like
too.
raging over something. Fine
Yeah.
1 minute, then you're raging over something the next minute. And it's like, and actors usually call the writers out on shit like this. So I don't know what's going on.
They
that
have them
these
go
are-
against character all the time, and it's annoying.
So, but I'm still enjoying a lot of the little things that are in here. And we watched 2 episodes this morning. But I started getting frustrated by the second episode. And I kind of agree with Martin. What he said before the show is that, to be honest, both these episodes could have just been put into one episode. It felt like it was dragging shit out.
Yeah.
So it really feels like the writers are up against the wall and they don't know what to write about. And speaking of like that, like I had like, oh no, not From again, but I'll tune in anyway. Well, that's because you like us, Tom. And we like you, sort of. And I'm teasing. But I had a great production meeting last night, Shanatsky and Tom Conkle and I, over my screenplay, The Darker. And we ended up, when we got towards closer to the third act, we had this like monumental discussion.
How
And
long did
just
it take this
basically,
time?
about 2 hours. And we got to this discussion, and what I ended up doing was I just said, throw that all out. Throw everything that you have notes on, because we had this great production meeting with some ideas, swapping ideas. I'm lobbing flies at him, and he's catching them and lobbing them right back at me. I like working with Tom. And Tom pointed something out, and I said, well, let's look at this thing you brought up. I don't want to say what it is, but it really deals with the basic staging of the wrap up of a story. And I had actually gotten kind of a brain fart where I was just writing for the sake of writing, because I knew I had to push my characters towards this thing. But while we were talking, he said something that triggered something in my head. And I ended up going, what if we just took all of that away? And from the park scene, where it's my homage to Jaws, because there's this tricentennial celebration of this old fucking town based off of the town I grew up in, which is, a town that has had Revolutionary War fought in it and Civil War fought in it. A lot of Americans died there, and Brits. And so there's a lot of history. And so I said, the town is having its tricentennial, and or something akin to it, like a 2.5 centennial. And it's about 250 years old, the town I'm from. And I said, what if there's celebration, just like Jaws with the, the thing, and we just do it all right there at the park. Everything bad that's going to happen that night mostly happens to these teenagers. And then I came with this idea that basically, like the shark from Jaws, this vampire goes on a bloodlust and just says, wow, teenagers taste really good, and I feel really good after. It's like drinking a Jolt Cola or something. And Tom just was like, okay, I'm liking where you're going. And then I said, and then this happens right as that's happening, and then this thing happens, and we start staggering these things all the way to the final battle with this fucking thing, this creature. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's everything now makes sense. And he really liked it. At the end of the meeting, he says, this really came together. And I went, yeah, and all I needed was that one nugget from you for me to figure out where I needed to go with the script. Because I was, sometimes I'm just writing, and I'm not sure where I should go, but I have to make myself go there. And then something like that happens, and I realize everything that connects those things to the end. And we wiped out close to 30 pages of script by doing that. And that was awesome. So we're just like throwing the third act away, and I'm rewriting the whole thing based off of all my notes. And I can tell you what my notes are later, but not on the show. I mean, you, Anima, I'll tell you later.
Oh, I know.
Fog. The debt.
Yeah, fuck Martin. Who cares?
No, I mean, we do talk aside from the show, not just on here. So I usually get filled in.
Yeah, and so what we're doing with this show, when we talk about it, it's like, there are things that I like about it, and there are things that if I were given the time, I would truncate all the seasons into one season and just throw all the crap out. I would probably even erase whole characters, because I don't understand why they even bothered to put them in there.
Yes, please.
Dude, the guy that looks like Phil Collins. Oh, why is he?
Oh, the guy in the bus?
No. And the guy, the old guy who lives with the hippies, that he looks like.
He went with them on the trip to get the vegetables, right? Yeah, that's
yes. I hate that guy with a passion.
You know who else I hate? I hate the old chick, the goofy, weird old lady. I'm like, there's something wrong with this character, and I don't think she's I don't think she's one of them. I think she's an
She has a
implant.
purpose, though. She has a purpose. The lesbian junkie.
No, I think
She
she's a
doesn't add
plant there.
anything to the story, so that's stupid.
Dude, after
That's for
this
the old
episode,
lady.
I think that she's just badly written.
Yeah.
The writers do not know how to do with that character.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just it's really sad, because there's like these really good nuggets and then a whole bunch of just crap going on. And I don't know, depending on how this season ends, I may just quit watching this show because I'm to the point where I'm fucking tired of the bad writing. I'm hitting that point where I'm kind of over it. But we've got other shows that we've just started watching that we could be talking about,
Yep.
I mean, Bad Monkey's great, but there's this other stuff that's available to us right now. There's a new series called Teacup that I'm very interested in finding out what's going on there. It seems because that's more of a ship in a bottle kind of show, which I like that because you've got a limited area and they're not supposed to go outside that area or people die. There's a circle that's been painted. Why is this happening? The trailer looked really interesting. They're trapped on a farm, a ranch, not a farm, but a ranch. And somebody comes one night and paints a circle. They said, you can't go outside that circle. And they allude to in one clip in the trailer of somebody fighting and ending up outside that line. And you just see the people reacting to something horrific happening to them. So I'm more engaged with that than I am with this show. I just feel like it's not lost. Don't get me wrong. I think they have a general idea where they want to go. I just don't think they are very good writers right now. Season
They're
one
not
was
keeping
just
on the
great.
path. They have weird ideas and think it's a good idea to put them in there when it's not. The general idea of the show is great. They add too much nonsense.
Or maybe they are just padding the shit out of it because they don't have they have their ending, they have their journey, but it's too short. So add that to the add water to the mix so it can last longer.
And I really feel like it was like a missed opportunity to really break down some stuff to have the mom out in the real world longer. And instead they just
She comes back
right
really
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like already back. And then you think, well, they're bringing new people and medical people. Oh, they kill them like in an instant. It's like that was so fucking worth it.
However, they have now more medical supplies, which a
And
video
the
game is a video game tells you if you found medical supplies, shit, that's it's going to get real.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I remember I don't know, it kind of reminds me of when I was younger and there was some of my fellow Catholics were like going, be careful what you pray for, you just might get it. And I'm like, what do you mean? They said, well, if you ask the Lord for more patience, he's going to give you more things to be patient for. I'm like, are we talking about God or the jinn? What the fuck are you talking about? You really think that that's how God works, that he's looking to fuck you over at every opportunity? You're a horrible person if you really believe that. That's fucked up. So, but anyway, this world is kind of like that. And so, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I guess we can talk about some things that were like irking me this week and things that I'm excited about. So here we go. Gary talks crap. So one interesting thing that happened this week was we got the announcement trailer for Netflix, Splinter Cell Death Watch. And I watched it, and it's animated. It looks like that typical Warner Brothers style animation, like Vox Machina has. That kind of animation. It's not anime, but it's American style animation like you get from Warner Brothers. And I was watching it. It was kind of weird hearing somebody else's voice other than Michael Ironside. Martin, do it. Just so
Do
he'll
it.
stop.
Do it now.
Do it now.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me...
You're so mean.
That was mean. I thought it stopped for me.
All
but you
right.
stopped.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me...
I did it again.
You're such an ass, Gary. I wonder why we still have people.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me... Tim?
That was videos interruptus.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I haven't seen Radioactive in a while, and I got him a video, and we haven't played it in a while. That's sad.
I haven't
So-
seen him in a while. I wonder where he is.
I like the trailer. It's an announcement trailer for Netflix with Splinter Cell. I remember I enjoyed playing Splinter Cell because, like, the big trick of playing Splinter Cell was to do things stealthily. You know, not to run and gun, but to try to get through things without being detected. And if you had to kill somebody, to hide the body. That was fun, you know. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Good shit. Good shit. So we got a new show that's going to be coming to Netflix for Splinter Cell. I don't like Netflix. I'll never pay for it again. But I'm looking forward to finding out if this show's any good. And then I'll find ways of watching it. Let's see. What else this week? I see. I saw. See, Chato had his video yesterday mocking Simu Liu for his ridiculous stance on the what do you call those little beads in the tea?
Yeah, the
That
boba
is-
teas. Dude, that is not ridiculous.
Boba.
That was plain evil. What he did to that company was evil.
Well, he's an asshole, and I hope his career tanks. I don't like
it is
wishing bad
tanking.
things on people, but when people go out and do bad things like he's doing, yeah, I hope his career tanks. I hope nobody will fucking hire him. So that's me talking about. So Chato's new video, Sima Liu, Muck of the Year. I stand with
I
that.
still don't know
agree
what
with
that
Chato.
even means.
What?
Whatever that video's title is.
Muck?
Simulu.
Yeah, he's the guy who is in Marvel's.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. It's a
Come
terrible
on,
movie.
Tim.
He didn't have any powers. He just knew kung fu. That was Bruce Lee character. There's no magical fucking powers. Ugh. I'm so tired of Marvel. I'm done. Fuck Feige. Then I saw the new trailer dropped an hour ago for Wolfman, Universal's new movie by.
They can go to hell.
Oh, who can go to hell? Really? Is what's his name that owns the production company that's making the film? Jason Blum. Fuck him.
Yeah, Blumhouse.
Fuck
Oh my
him.
God.
And the inverted salad saddle he sat on. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I fucking hate James Blum. God, what an asshole.
Dude.
So
If you take
he's
a proper
ruining
Wolf-
Wan. He's ruining James Wan stuff. He's making it woke and modern feminist crap. Just it's ridiculous. So yeah, Wolfman. What is it? Oh, mom must protect daughter from dad. You know, try to play that a little more thin next time, Jason Blum. I see myself out
Okay.
the back door. I don't think I can do that. I can't see myself through the
Reach.
outdoor.
You you will become the Ouroboros Gary.
Yeah, it'd just be really bizarre yoga move, like inverted What's that one with the dog? Just invert it where your head goes up your own
Oh,
ass.
please don't ever attempt anything like that, Gary.
Okay, let me run this video.
It's too dangerous.
I don't like the idea of it going out the back door.
There we go. Gary, you asshat.
He's not wrong.
Anal beads. Yeah, it's like, could you imagine a rosary full of anal beads?
Ew. Just for the
So-
record, guys, I really miss being in reach so I could hit him when he says.
That's how she could smack the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I will say another
miss
show
that.
that Anima and I have been watching that we need to start talking about in November is The Penguin.
Yes.
I'm very
please.
pleased with it. It's they took something from a really shitty movie and made gold out of it. It's good
They
stuff.
took the only thing that worked in a shitty movie.
Yeah. Because that movie was just horrible. Plus, also, I guess we've got that situation with Wicked Star. What is her name? I forget her name. Not important. She's nobody.
Yes.
Because now she's attacking people for trying to make the movie poster look more like the musical Broadway poster. And she goes, how dare you take my eyes out? That is my soul, the window of my soul.
You're
it's like,
erasing
oh my
me.
God.
Yeah.
Talk
What?
about fucking ego. That is pure fucking ego right there. Pure fucking ego. And here's the ridiculous part. She absolutely thinks she's right saying that. It's like, fuck her. And then, of course, you've got also on top of that, you've got Campia attacking Marvel and Star Wars fans. It's like, why is he even being talked about anymore? How does he even have a show? Who's fucking watching this guy? You've got really good shows out there that do a better job talking about the industry. From Midnight's Edge to Culture Casino, because I love Culture. He's my buddy, and I love Valiant Renegade. You get far more informative background information on what's happening, what's coming, what's not coming, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen from those three shows right there. So why is anybody fucking watching that twat? Campy is a fucking idiot. I can't stand the guy. Not to mention you've got Film Threat, for God's sakes. And our dear friend, Robert Meyer Burnett. Those are reliable, great sources of information and opinion. Stop fucking watching Campia. I don't understand people. I really don't. So anyway.
But does he really have an audience? A real human audience, or are they bots?
All I got to tell you is if we're hearing about it, somebody's watching. So I just think that he's the biggest waste of time. I haven't liked the damn thing he said in 5 years. I stopped liking him before Keith and I even started doing a show.
Wow.
So, but it's hard to believe we're already moving close to our 6th year. We're 3/4 of the way there. Keith and I started this on a whim. Fun. I'd like to do more of the stuff we used to do, but Keith's not available because of all of the family stuff going on. So he does his Thursday show, and that's when he gets to talk about what's going on in the industry. I personally, I don't really care enough to talk about it. People want me to talk about Marvel. I don't fucking want to talk about Marvel. I don't even really want to talk about DC. Yeah, that's just, hey, Vic. Yeah, it's just, I don't understand that. Like, who the fuck watches that twat? And he really is. He's a twat.
People who are bored and don't know what's good.
And people of the industry
Yeah,
waiting for
people who
for
have
opportunity
to.
to cancel him.
Just unfucking believable. That shit. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to talk about before we go on to it. So I went through a list of things I wanted to talk about or bitch about. I am looking forward to seeing this new SNL movie. I really am. I just saw something about that because they brought up the fact that there was an attempt to do Muppets with Saturday Night Live. It's true. And it got sabotaged. So it never happened. But they went on to do their own damn show, which was awesome.
Oh my god.
What?
I just seen a picture of a He-Man action figure. Like I'm a big He-Man fan and have my little collection. But man, this new figure, it looks like it's He-Man. It looked like a yes, his face looked like a Karen, like an angry
What?
Karen. Yes, let me show that. You won't believe it.
Yeah, I want to see that now.
Dude, I've seen. Oh, look at that!
Oh my god.
Yeah, it has Karen face.
It does.
It looks like a woman. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yes, He
That
Man.
is so bad.
Oh, you're saying man. I got you.
Yes, no, I gotta get that figure just for the shit of it.
Oh shit! Donut operator just 17 minutes ago posted his assessment of that BLM shooting in that hallway with the lady with the knife coming at the cop. Cut the shit out of him.
Yeah,
Could have killed him.
slashing across the brow.
Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow,
Man.
we've got a good show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite werewolf films of all time. It's a
Look
Rick
who we have
Baker
here.
masterpiece called An American Werewolf in London. Hey, what's up, Mephisto? How you doing, buddy? American Werewolf in London came out the same year as The Howling. Both films were being produced at the same time. And in fact, Rick Baker started working on The Howling. And once he found out that An American Werewolf in London got greenlit, he had to leave the project because he had promised to work on it with Landis. And he left his protege in charge. And he ended up using many of the concepts that Rick Baker had left behind because he trained him. And so that's why both films have bladders being used in the face and transformation, as well as the exact same snout extension scene where it's pushed out by like a broomstick. Very clever stuff they did. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Talking about the comedy aspects of it. And I'm also going to be talking about how the studio used his first movie, Animal House, as a launching platform for this movie. From the man who brought you Animal House comes an animal of another kind. I love that promo, man. Half the reason I wanted to see the movie. Love those trailers on TV. TV spots, as they call them. So, all right, let's get into this.
Oh yes, he's returning to the house. He's talking to the voice that claims to be Thomas. That we
It's his dead baby.
yeah, but it's clear that it's not Thomas. It's one of those fuckers because he's messing with him, and he'll
Yeah.
laugh at him and mocks him. So cannot be Thomas. He's just there to torture him.
Yeah, it seems like this season is all about breaking the characters.
Mhm.
Especially Boyd.
Yeah, because Boyd made the statement, "You can't break me."
Yeah,
That's just
Boyd
a
is
challenge.
Boyd is already beginning to crack.
Yeah, I mean, the shit they make him watch, who wouldn't break? He always wants
He's-
to protect everybody and do the right thing, and they just show him again and again and again that he cannot do that. I'm surprised he's still holding up, to be honest.
That's who he is. That's what he does.
Yeah, but even a former soldier like him has to reach a point where he's like, okay, I'm done. This is more than I can take. I was still waiting for that to happen.
This poor guy, man. you you understand why he ends up doing what he does at the end of the episode. Imagine being in that position.
Hmm.
Ah, yes, and she refuses to take care of herself. She doesn't even want to eat.
She
Explain to
can't
me.
eat. She's always sick.
Really?
Are you talking about the pregnant girl?
No, the mom that is in the real world.
Well, yeah, she's freaked out.
This guy is always telling, "Hey, you need to sleep, you need to eat because I
She
need you
doesn't
well
have
to
time for
help me."
that. She needs to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, but you can't do that if your mind is not at rest. If you don't sleep and you don't eat, your brain doesn't work.
Dude, you're talking to the wrong person. I'm exactly like her.
So Mephisto said he's going to redirect to our channel here when this is done. Thanks, buddy.
Mephisto. I wish he'd join us. He's fun to have on the panel.
Yep.
But he's probably not even watching that show.
Yeah, I think he's not watching it, and it's late for him.
Yeah, he's 1 hour ahead of me. So that's
Oh,
half
yeah.
past 11.
At first, in this scene, you think he's again measuring the distance between the trees, but no. He's digging up a treasure with a map, with a very old map. I I think this discussion about the plan to trap a creature could have been better written because there are points in which you get the vibe that okay, maybe they are getting all of them are getting on board on the same idea, but then they say a key word that tramples everything that had been said before.
What's
For example, yeah, because the son doesn't want it, and explained the idea, not the plan, because they don't have a plan yet. They explained the idea to Donna. Donna at first said, "Are you fucking nuts? You're gonna die in the process." And said, "No, I got a plan. What is your plan?" And he says, "Well, really, no, I don't have." So she says to him, "Okay, if you're gonna do it because I can stop you, at least come up with a plan." And that sounds logical. That sounds like okay, I may be on board with this, but let's do it right. And then I don't remember what is exactly what she said before leaving that tells me, no, she's not on board. So what the fuck?
Hmm.
Because yes, the Donna and the kid, they are right. The plan is absolutely dangerous, or not the plan, the idea, and they need, or he need a really really good plan. But he's not in that wavelength. He's just thinking, no, I take the talisman and blah blah blah. No, dude, no. Yes, you have to catch one, but dude, try to survive.
Hmm.
He's not thinking clearly. He's the death of the.
Well, nobody is at this point. They're all freaking out.
Oh yeah, especially him and Donna. The way
Yeah,
Donna
and
breaks in the next episode, wow.
I don't like that because it's so against her character. To freak out a little bit, yeah, but they have meltdowns all of a sudden. And
Because
it's not
okay,
who they are.
she's human. She has been holding up. At least she has the sense of not breaking down in public.
Yeah.
He, I like the way that scene was built and carried out. I liked it. As long as it doesn't get a regular thing, it's okay.
Well, I can't. That would be so bad.
Yeah, that would destroy that character
Yeah.
completely.
God, I hope they don't go there.
I mean, look, Fatima and Fatina in the same frame.
Fatina. I like that one. Yeah, she ain't starving to death.
No. Well, Fatima isn't starving anymore because she discovered she can eat rotten food, which is gross.
Oh, she discovers more than that. Ugh.
Yes, this is my
Oh my god.
main critique to the
blood.
show.
Well, that's
They
what
do
I
not
said.
share.
Yeah, we've already
They-
talked about this. That they get mad at each other for not communicating, and then they don't communicate. It's
They
fake
never share
drama.
information. Every single one of them sees as really weird shit happening, and instead of saying to the others, "Hey, that thing happened," no, they keep it a secret. Why?
Hey, Scott,
Why?
like-
Because it's bad writing is what it is. It's constantly trying
Yeah.
to slow walk the events in the show and not reveal
Yes.
anything and trying to maintain the mystery box. This show, after season 1, I thought season 1 was okay. You're starting to set things up, starting to get things interesting, and they keep walking it backwards. They keep taking things away, or like the little charm bracelet thing. We suddenly have that come about. That wasn't mentioned over the entirety of the last season. And then all of a sudden it's back, and why do you have this? All of these mystery box, non-resolution. I never watched the series Lost, but every complaint I've ever heard
Neither
about
did I.
Lost, I'm seeing here. Sorry, I've been sitting on my frustrations over
No.
this show for like 2 years now.
Yeah, I'm
was
pretty much
glorious.
done. I'm pretty much done with this. I'm getting so frustrated with the bad writing.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you're going to have something be mysterious just for the sake of being mysterious, that's fine. You don't have to waste a lot of time if it's just a mystery, right? Like things in like in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, they're things that just are. There's no answer to them. They just are the way they are. And if that's the way it is, fine. But if you're teasing the audience constantly that something about this is going to make sense, that the trees moving means something, because we really focus on that in the first few episodes with Victor. The trees are moving. And this symbol, which is just the arrangement of roots in a cave, but it's supposed to mean something. It's, I guess I'm too used to things like Murder, She Wrote, right? You could watch an episode of Murder, She Wrote and figure it out before the main characters did, because they offered you the clues. There was a setup, and there was a payoff, and there was a reward if you were paying attention. I keep wanting to be rewarded for paying attention to this show, and they keep yanking the rug out from under me. It's so frustrating. So at this point, I don't even know. And then with this last one, we end up right back where we started. We're right back in the city with one brand new person. And what have we learned? The only thing we have is Victor's father.
2 new people, actually.
Yeah, so-
Victor's
yeah, so-
father and the cop, the female cop.
Yeah, the cop already shot and killed somebody, which is great.
She should have stayed in the real world longer. I agree. They
Here's the
brought
other
her back
thing.
Too fast.
Here's the other thing that kind of bugs me, is that there's all these side characters, extras in the show, that if something happens to them, I don't care because I've never met them. They're just an extra. So it's like, oh, this person got shot. Oh, no, not rotten vegetable lady. She was the best character in the show. You know, like, who cares?
Yeah, it's like I told Anima, I said, oh, look, it's the girl that called her a bitch, then apologized. That's why she's dead. She died because she apologized for being honest.
Well, we know why she
Saying
really
what
died,
needed to be
so,
said.
So that Tabitha
They
can
kill
eat
people.
her blood.
They kill people who say what needs to be said. There you go.
Yeah.
That's how they die.
Yeah, I was trying to think, like in the first season when Jade is trying to put the antenna on the top of the tree, and he sees all the Confederate soldiers or whatever running around, like, oh my gosh, what is this supposed to mean? And none of that is ever brought up again. Nothing. And then the closest we get to a flashback to that is the guy with the railroad spike in his eye in the last episode. Or like,
yeah, that was
okay.
That was a clear flashback to him being the one who can see these things. But what does it mean?
Nothing, because they've done nothing with that. I mean, everybody sees, we talked about this before, everybody sees things that are completely inexplicable in a place where everything's inexplicable, and it's somehow they keep this information from others. Oh, you know those zombie children I keep seeing? Oh, wait, no, I'm going to keep that to myself. Oh, you know that little boy in white that I keep seeing? I'm going to keep that to myself. Oh, you know the Confederate soldiers walking around? I'm going to keep that to myself. Why? Anything in this situation, at a certain point, you got to say, hey, you know, maybe this is something that means something in this magical place with zombie vampire monsters from the 50s that keep coming out every night. Maybe I should tell this to Boyd. Maybe I should tell this to the other people in
Boyd
town.
Keeping some of the stuff that happened to him.
I know. What, like, if he saw, I mean, how, if he's seeing the preacher talking to him from beyond the grave in a place where people are seeing ghosts, maybe tell other people, because it's the core complaint of this whole show. People are not acting like rational people, even in an irrational situation. Communication is key. And it is so frustrating to be a thinking audience member watching this, where it's like it's not a situation where it's like, no, don't go down into the basement. Except I'm doing that every time with adults making decisions. It doesn't work. We're not talking about teenagers running away from a guy in a hockey mask. We're talking about people who are supposedly long-term survivors in a mystical, magical, supernatural situation, and somehow they haven't learned the lesson of talking to each other.
Yeah, if I wanted to go back to a world where there's no communication, I'd go back to my first marriage.
And then suddenly Victor finds a suitcase with memories from before. I mean, every time I see something pop into this show, I'm just like, okay, the writers are trying to write themselves out of a corner or something. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, I said, if we don't find out something by the end of this season, I'm done. Because they're doing another loss.
Yeah.
It's the same writers, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was wondering if somebody changed gears after the first season or something, and that's why everything went sideways, is because they fired a bunch of writers or something. But I assume now, so here's where I'm at. I assume it has something to do with Victor's mother. Victor's mother conjured this into existence or was a medium to another world or something. and she
they're all
started it
trapped
all.
in it.
And they're all trapped in her craziness, spirit, or whatever. But then why are they tormenting these people? Who chooses who gets to come to this place? And I don't know.
Now, Ready for Raw here says people are not telling each other things because they truly don't know who to trust. I don't think that's the case at all.
They
I mean,
only have each other.
they
to
rely
trust.
on
There's
one
nobody
another.
else.
That's all they
Yeah.
have.
The only
Just rely on
untrustworthy
one
person in this thing is I
Guy that
forget
lives
her
in the
name.
bus.
Well, the
Oh.
guy that lived in the bus, not as much as a girl who killed her own brother and tried to murder everybody else.
Can't trust her. I don't trust the old lady. There's something
Yeah.
freaky about her.
Oh, Miss, I licked the inside of eggs when I was pregnant. That lady.
Yeah, what the fuck
Ew,
is that
yeah.
about?
And where did the tarot cards come from? Like all of a sudden now she's a tarot reader.
One thing about Victor's mom, though, if she conjured this up, she killed her own daughter because that girl died because of shit that's happening. So that's dark.
Yeah.
So,
Make
we
this
got
her own
folks-
creation.
Popping into the show right now. It looks like they're coming over from Mephisto. We got Swirly is here, Ready for Raw. Let's see who else popped in. I
Nope,
think that's it right now.
just the two.
So welcome to the show. Welcome to our frustration, because we talk about a lot of shows on our TGIF, and this is one that we've started watching. Anima and I started watching together and have stuck with it. And I just get so infuriated at
We
the
are
bad
about ready
writing.
to give up on it. Yeah.
I hate fake drama. And
Mhm.
fake drama is the shit you see on the CW. That's for tweens to watch, not adults. And this show is supposed to be for a mature audience.
Yeah.
And it's not written that way. So it's really frustrating me that they've just keep spinning their wheels in mud instead of doing something interesting.
Well, if it's the same writers, I'm curious. I'd love to know, because it always seems like, did you go into this with the entire main arc already planned out? You know, because I think of something like Babylon 5, right? Where basically like a gigantic arc was already sort of pre-structured before the show even began, so that there was a continuity. It wasn't catch as catch can when it came to writing. There was a purpose to everything. With a show like this, I would have to assume you'd start out with like a show Bible that already has all of the big questions answered, and you just have to like hit those notes periodically over the course of the series. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they're just chasing their tails. And anyway, I feel like such a negative Nelly here, but
Well, John,
I want to like this show, you know.
because season 1 really was a good season. And Jonathan Griffin was like the lead writer for season 1. He wrote that pilot, you know, that really got us hooked, you know, right from the get-go. And but it's really not feeling, it feels more and more disjointed.
Yes.
The more we go. And it's like you start out with something that's a real tight idea, and then they just start over bloating it with more and more ideas instead of just sticking to the core ideas. And John Griffin is still the main writer on the show, but they brought other writers in. And I think Griffin is the one. I'm not sure. Let me double check. Let me go over and look. Because it seems like he worked on he's got a sketchy career as a writer. Because he worked on that terrible new series of The Twilight Zone, just garbage show.
Oh. Well, the first season didn't have a lot to prove, right? You could set up all this mystery and stuff, and there's not a lot of obligation or burden on you to answer it in that first season. So I don't know if it was good so much as we didn't have a reason to question too deeply the inconsistencies of the plot.
Well, because
You know what I
there's
mean?
no inconsistencies really with the first season, because
Right. It's all
so much
story
is being
hooks.
revealed to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's all mystery story hooks.
and we didn't see inconsistencies until we hit season 2,
Right.
when, you know, they brought the new bus there and they introduced a new character that felt like a checkbox more than really, and a device rather than as something essential to telling a good story. And in doing so, they've now made a major character in the show irrelevant.
Oh,
which is
the
female
big
medic.
kid. Oh, the female
No,
medic.
the female
Yeah.
medic. Also, the
Yeah.
son is irrelevant. He is the most annoying part of this season. Just
Yeah.
fucking moronic. Whereas he was written very well early on, and now he's just like, "I'm going to run out, even though you told me not to," and cause problems. Jesus Christ. I try so hard to like things. I want to like them.
Yeah.
And
Jade
when
is
I
still my favorite
feel
character.
There are agents within a project who are working against me liking it.
Mm-hmm.
That pisses me off. Stop trying to alienate me from your fucking show and be smarter with your writing.
Is this the last season? Like this is the last one they're going to make?
I feel like if they don't fucking pick it up, this will be the last season.
There's only how many? There's like 12 episodes or something this season. 10 episodes.
I think.
10.
I
Okay,
think
we're
it's been
number
10
4.
episodes a season. I think it's been 10
okay.
episodes.
Yeah, ready for Raw. They should have started giving us some answers in the middle of season 2. And I don't feel like they gave us any. It was just constant breadcrumbing, more and more mysteries.
This character is one of the most interesting characters, Jade.
Jade is the best character in the show. He's the most
Absolutely.
relatable. He's the most relatable.
And I fucking loved him from from the get-go. Just what a great character. Because he's like, oh, this shit's bullshit. Whatever.
I used to like the kid and his chemistry with Victor. But I don't know, this season, the kid who plays him seems to have forgotten how to act. It's so bad.
I wonder if that kid, because of his age, is having to be more occupied with like schooling or something, and they had to write around his
well, they
his
usually
schedule.
have school on set, for these kids that act. But what I'm tired of is giving us new things and then never coming back to it. Spiders, season 1.
Yeah.
What? Now this season, it's pinhead statues out in the snow. It's like, oh my God.
Oh,
And who
that's
put
another-
those there?
They made such a big deal out of the trees losing the leaves and everything, and now it's just winter and nothing more to it. Although it
Yeah.
never was winter before. But all it means now is that they need to find food. There's nothing more behind it. So yeah,
And then
keep
they
looking at
suddenly
things
find
and then they
food.
disrupt them. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and that problem lasts about an episode, then suddenly, we found a sudden source of food for the entire winter
Yeah,
growing
right.
out here in the middle of nowhere. And why would you trust that stuff when everything else has gone
Yeah, it's like
sideways?
nothing weird about that. Oh man. So I will say this, that Kristen Layden is probably one of the better writers working on the show, but she's not working on very much. She's done 4 episodes as a writer and producer. Because she worked on Blind Spot, which wasn't a bad NBC series. Covert Affairs, I like that show. The Morning Show, it's not horrible. You got Bridget Hales as a writer. She worked on Disenchanted, Once Upon a Time, and 11/22/63, which was not a bad miniseries.
Oh, I remember that
Disenchanted and
one.
Once Upon a Time is garbage for me. I just that's written for women, children, and gay men.
Mhm.
That's who's drawn to those shows. Javier Grillo Marchucci, I don't know how to pronounce that name. But anyway, he's worked on some pretty good stuff. But he's the link to Lost.
Oh, okay. See, I
Because
kept wondering about
He was
that.
a producer and writer on Lost.
Oh, see, I
And-
kept thinking this feels like mini Lost. You
'Cause
know,
he worked on Charmed. He
Yeah.
worked on the Dark Crystal miniseries, and he worked on the stupid reboot of the Charlie's Angels TV series.
okay.
But let me get you some of the stuff he has worked on that I think's worth mentioning.
So he was like he was a second banana on Lost. That's great.
Yeah.
What?
He was
Well-
on Medium. He wrote for Medium, which was not a bad show. I liked it. He worked on 2 seasons of Helix. Season 1 all the way up until the last 2 episodes was really good. And then everything after it was garbage. And he worked on a series that I enjoyed, if you guys remember it, from 03-04 called Jake 2.0. I thought it had some potential as a sci-fi series.
I vaguely remember the title.
It was good. I liked it. He also worked on another series I thought was good, Boomtown. He also worked on another series that was good as a producer. And I think he also wrote on it, but it is The Chronicle, because it was really good.
I love The Chronicle.
Yes,
was that the movie with the superpowered kids?
No, a young, highly qualified reporter can't find work.
The Chronicle.
Paper, and he signs on with a tabloid.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking of Chronicle.
It was a fun show.
It's the X-Files, but in a paper.
Now, we've got another writer who has some shared baggage in their portfolio, which is Vivian Lee. Vivian Lee has worked on 1 episode of From, and that was in 2022. But that's somebody they should have kept, because she actually did a good job as a producer-writer on Lost in Space. It only had one major flaw with that show, was the mother character saying guns aren't needed in the outer frontier with all these monsters and shit. Who needs guns? They don't solve anything. Dumb. She also worked on The Dark Crystal like the other guy, and she worked on the Cowboy Bebop TV series as a producer. She's Asian, by the way. And I thought she did some good work. But she, of course, only got to work on 1 episode. And then there's Jeff Pinkner. And Pinkner has worked on he's clearly a JJ acolyte. He has done 24 total episodes for From. And he worked on Fringe. He worked on the first sequel to Jumanji. I said not the first film, but the first sequel. He also worked on Alias, another JJ show. Fringe and Alias, both JJ. He worked on Citadel, Cowboy Bebop, another connection with Cowboy Bebop. He worked on the stupid reboot of the film, the TV series High Fidelity, which was awful.
Oh, geez. I didn't even know they did a TV show on that.
Yeah, it had, what's her name in it? Zoe Kravitz's daughter.
Oh,
Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz, yeah. Let's see. He worked on Zoo, which was just a terrible premise. I didn't like that. He was an executive producer on the film The Dark Tower, which was terrible. And then he worked on 86 episodes as a writer-producer for Fringe, which was a good fucking show from what I've seen of it.
Yeah, it was decent. I watched the whole thing a few years ago. It changed course season to season a little bit, which is probably to its benefit. It went from sort of an X-Files thing
benefit or
to
detriment.
Well, I guess it depends on your point of view. I mean, it was kind of an X-Files deal for the first season or 2, and then it started getting into this giant quasi convoluted meta plot I forget. Well, it's hard to explain because the show went all over the place. I think its strongest seasons were probably the first 2, and then it started. I suppose after that it was an acquired taste, but it always maintained a certain level of quality. And of course, you had Lance Herrick. No, I forget his name. Something. Oh my God, the guy that just died recently. Not Lance Henriksen. The bald black guy from
Lance Reddick.
Lance.
Yeah. So he was in there. That's the first time I saw him. I mean, the acting was always good. The characters were always strong. If you got through the first couple seasons, they grew on you and you could watch it. But it didn't have the same kind of impact, I think, culturally like the X-Files did. It was just a fun little sort of popcorn show overall.
So one consistency you'll see throughout the series on From here is Jack Bender. He directed 16 of the episodes between 22 and 24. But there is what I'm seeing here when I look at these screenwriters. There is no consistency with the screenwriting.
Mm. Well, it shows.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it, and they're all over the fucking place. And John Griffin, who created the show, is sporadic when he's working on the show. It's like he is listed as creator or created by. He has 9 episodes that he wrote the story. He has 9 episodes which he wrote the teleplay, and 3 episodes which he wrote the entirety of.
Does he have something he's doing parallel to this that's distracting him or something? Because
let's go find out.
Either that, or he had the idea and then he worked on it a little bit, and then it just went in a direction that he's not cool with. So
here it is.
Uh-huh.
He is the one putting the show Magic the Gathering together for Netflix.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez.
That's got his attention.
Oh,
yeah. Geez. That's an IP. That is a worldwide. He's distracted with that. This is like a nothing project compared to working
this
on
is
that
the
kind
same
of thing.
shit that happened with Preacher. Why that last season was so crap, because the guys in charge of it jumped ship to go work on the boys, and so it just fell apart. It just fell apart.
It's like Benioff and Weiss at the last seasons of Game of Thrones, where they were like, "Oh boy, we got a Star Wars contract now. Let's get out of this Game of Thrones thing as fast as we can."
Here.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a character I believe they're going to kill now. This is one of the best characters on the show.
Yeah, until they
the first season,
because she has been sidelined to the girlfriend character,
which doesn't make any sense because
it's just so stupid. It's so stupid what
they have too many characters running in the show. They have too many characters.
The character that was brought on as her girlfriend is going to be the one that survives. You watch. I'm predicting this. This is how bad they're doing.
They've diluted. They don't have enough real estate. This is I got to say. So I've been watching. I don't know if you guys have seen this show. I've been watching this show that's now unfortunately canceled called Mr. In Between on Hulu.
It wasn't canceled. It was not canceled. He ended it.
Oh, okay.
And he has stepped away completely.
Well, either way. But the point I want to bring up is that I've been watching this show.
We are going to talk about it on here.
Yeah, I heard about it before. Started watching it. Each episode is like 25 minutes long, and that show shames nearly every series I've been watching over the last year where the episodes are 45 minutes to an hour long, because I walk away from one episode of Mr. In Between.
1/10 of the story.
No, or the character development or anything else. And the writing in that show is so Spartan, but the acting is so solid, and the amount of information you need to get across the events and the characters is exactly the right amount. And by the end of 25 minutes, I feel like I've watched an hour-long show because you get that much content out of a very small amount of space. And so when I watch something like From, or I go 45 minutes something or to an hour watching an episode, and I think to myself, what the hell did we learn? Where did we go? How did we progress? How did this make anything make more sense or add anything to the characters? And it just puts that shows like this to shame. Not only this one, but other series that I've watched recently that I can heartily not recommend. But
now, Ready for Raw is about to get annoyed with me with my sense of humor. It's like, I was actually surprised when Smiley Monster was killed off. It was dumb. That was an interesting monster. He was the best monster, period. Agree. Question: do you think Victor expected Tabitha to return? My answer is yes. He read it in the script.
Exactly.
You keep doing that to me, guys. Whenever questions come up while watching stuff, it's in the
How
script.
did he climb the tree? Because it was in the script.
I hate it when he does that.
Anna smacks the shit out of me when I do.
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult not to come to that conclusion. Yeah, when things happen in the story that don't feel organic, that feel like they're shoehorned in, you as an audience member, you have no other reason to think that it's been written in.
There's another word for that. There's another word for that, Scribe. It is called Deus Ex Machina.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is where you take devices instead of story or character, and you use devices to move the story forward. Right here, what is the device moving the story forward? It's a bear trap that they can't
It's filler.
figure out how it works.
It's
Even
filler.
though bear traps are fairly fucking easy to get them to release. All you got to do is push down on the main spring and it opens up like nothing. But nobody's doing that. They're trying to pry it open instead of press down on the spring, which is what spring loads it.
And so that whole incident just felt like absolute time.
Here's
time
another
filler.
one. Where's this going to go? The guy with the nail in the eye.
Yeah.
Anyway,
is he another Confederate soldier thing? What does it have to do with anything? Have we seen him before?
Now he's
No.
drinking blood from a skull. Oh boy.
Right.
This tells us something that we'll never fucking find out. Poor Jade. Jade has gotten fucked over more by screenwriters on this show than anybody.
Yeah. The actor's great. He does a great job with the part, but his arc is going nowhere. Like he started out as being like the technological one. He had answers and he could be practical and pragmatic about things. Let's put up an antenna. Let's find the highest point on the place to get line of sight for this, that, and the other. And ever since season 1, he's just been practically a useless, crazy drunk. Still the most entertaining part of the series, but functionally for the story and the group. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Friend who's funny when he's one of my favorite people to be around when he's drunk. And
yeah, psoriasis is hilarious. Oh, sorry.
You're talking about Mac, right?
Yeah, Mac. Macadoodle, as
He got
my daughter
everybody
calls him.
drunk at the other day when he came to the house. He just
Here's a funny story about him, Scribe. Ultra Rob and I, Zoe's other uncle, he and I confronted Mac one day, and I said, "Look, Mac, Rob and I feel we need to talk to you about your drinking." And he got really, like, you could see his whole body tighten up. I said, "Yeah, man, look, when you drink, you're a completely different person.
Oh my God.
You're somebody we've never met before.
Oh my God.
And it's like, we actually like that person. He's fun. He says great things. It's such a pleasure to be around. So Bankus and I talked, and we think you should drink more often." we staged it like it was an intervention, and then like he fucking about died. It was so fucking funny when we did that to him. We like who you are when you're drunk.
Yeah.
So this is the other character that I'm trying to figure out. I thought, oh, they're going to kill him. But then the second episode ends with him not dying, that he's still there. And it's, again, going to the point of Breaking Boyd seems to be this season all about Breaking Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of Breaking Bad. This is Breaking Boyd.
Well, how much more broken can the guy get? He had to kill his own wife.
I don't know.
He's
What
been
is the whole
stranded
point
here.
of that?
He's watched his friends get eviscerated, and I mean, he's been through nothing but.
Yet, though.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the thing, is that he should have by now. And unless we're going to call him seeing the priest as him having snapped, except he's still able to maintain relationships and rational thought elsewise, it doesn't have. It's sort of like, how many times can you touch the stove before you know it's hot? He's been so traumatized, and he hasn't broken, that every time something new happened, like when he got strapped down to watch the lady being killed, I was like, it's not. He'll still be Boyd after this. They can't kill Boyd. He's like every character in this show should be up for grabs as far as their fate. That's the only way you could build any suspense.
One thing that was so awesome about the early seasons of The Walking Dead is, like, if you became the heart of the group, you're fucking going to die.
Yeah.
They're going to kill you, because don't you dare become the heart of the group, because if you become the heart of the group, they're going to kill you. And when I saw that they were doing that with Coral, I was getting panicky, because he's the reason why I stuck with the show. I love that kid. I loved his performance. I loved everything what that kid was becoming. And I've read the comics, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be... And then they fucking murdering him. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm out. I'm done. I didn't even stick around to see what happened to Negan. Fuck that.
I don't even know if there's a character in this show that I'd get broken up, except for maybe Jade at this point. I mean, Jade I'd be kind of upset about.
It's the only solid character that I like in this show. The wife here, she's been interesting now that she's been in the outside world, but then they bring her right back.
Right. What did it mean? The only utility of this was to bring the father in. That's it. We spent 2 or 3 episodes with her talking to him and him. This is the thing that's so frustrating about that character. We go down into the basement. Hey, Stuart, Snort. We go down to the basement, and the father relays to us, the audience, mysteries that we still don't have answers to, but just that somebody else also had them this entire time. And that tells me what?
Here's another one that pissed me off, because I cannot stand characters that are just devices. Okay, the priest that they show, and I predicted it. I said, "You watch. He's there for one reason and one reason only, to get her to look in the lunchbox, even though she should have done that on her own.
Right?
Didn't need a priest to do it. It was so stupid to introduce that character to get her to look in. Oh my god." Oh my god. I'm just like, I'm getting so frustrated and fed up with the bad writing. Don loves this stuff. Don Ecker. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't want to say that I'm that person that chooses to drink aged wine over fresh wine, but I'm starting to feel like that guy, because I tend to really feel that weak writing is not worth my time.
No. I mean, I feel as though I have to see this through just for some kind of quasi-professional basis.
It is a completionist. It is a people with OCD are like this, and I'm an OCD person. I'm a completionist. If I start something, I have to see it to the bitter fucking end, no matter how angry I get.
We have dropped shows before when they got really super bad.
Yes, I have dropped out of shows before, even if they had
this
something
show
like
is going to be dropped. This is going to be dropped if we don't get some kind of understanding by the end of the season. If they just throw in a bunch of new stuff for the mystery box crap, I'm out. I'm telling you now.
You can't breadcrumb this many supposed clues and things. And the thing is that at this point, I guess the thing that really gives me no hope in this is that, like I use the analogy of Murder, She Wrote earlier. Halfway through an episode of Murder, She Wrote, it's conceivable you could figure out the solution before the characters, or you could at least make the connection between some of the clues for yourself before the characters have. We're now nearly 2.5 seasons deep into this thing, and I am no closer to making any reasonable connection or conclusion, even if it's a good guess.
The reason why is because they learned from the series Lost that you got to be careful throwing out information, because the fans might get ahead of us.
But you got to leave the possibility the fans could figure something out. I mean, yeah, that's what it feels like.
Because they said, well, this could be death. I said, it can't be limbo, because we happen to know they didn't have an accident.
Nope.
And, it's not like they had an accident and then they find themselves here. Their accident occurred after they were already here. So it's
okay. So let's speculate for a second. Okay, how many here believe that we are in an artificial Matrix-like simulation?
Absolutely.
Okay, you think
it's real.
When it started.
I think it's real. What I think it is, it's a pocket world that has access points all over, which is why one of the characters said they can get in, from anywhere. People come from everywhere,
right,
to get here.
We've been saying that since the
only
very
one.
beginning.
I don't think it's the only one.
No.
And I think that this world has existed since time began.
That would explain the old characters, like Civil War guys.
And of course, because I think that's actually, I don't think he saw into the past. I think that that's one of the entrances is from somewhere on a battlefield.
I think this is
in
where
that
all the
time.
missing socks from laundry machines go to.
There you go.
Yeah, when you're missing a sock, this is the dimension it goes to. Yeah, no, the phones without wires in the walls, the electric lines that go to nothing. I can't feel like it's completely supernatural in that way, but are they being teleported? I mean, are they off planet in like somebody's ant farm?
No,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's somewhere like invisible to the world, but I think it exists in this world. Hence the movement of the sun.
Do you think it's so? Do you think
Not a
the okay? So
virtual
it's
sun.
you think it's a supernatural force or
Hockey.
like an alien?
I think
an
it's
alien intelligence.
Alien. I think it's
Alien.
alien. I don't think it's natural.
And is it just like some sort of like grand experiment to observe people's reactions to things, like test them? Like this is a Skinner's
Very
rats
much
kind of deal.
Possible, but there are so many weird things going on, from the parasite that got into Boyd's body to
Right.
the locusts. Like they came from that parasite. What the fuck is going on with
Or
that?
Busboy's the only one that can see the wasps or whatever.
Yeah.
Crickets, I think. Yeah, and they are back without.
Those aren't
explanation.
crickets,
All of
those
a
are
sudden he
cicadas.
sees them.
They're
Yeah.
cicadas.
I
Why
think
does he see them though? All of a sudden,
And nobody
think
else can.
part-
and we forgot about them when Boyd was cured. They disappeared, and nobody ever thought about them anymore. Now they're back all of a sudden. Weird.
And boy, I
think
got to
part
tell you,
of
if I'm
this-
a black actor and I get cast on this show, I would be terrified and be friends with every writer. Like, hey man, I love what you're doing with this character, man. Love it. Don't kill me.
Okay,
So-
I think part of this is a safari,
What?
and I mean it.
A safari.
That these creatures are on safari.
Yes, because they are doing this for fun. They are enjoying it.
You have a weird thinking.
No, I don't
Weird
disagree with him.
fun. Huh.
Because if these things are real and alive and not puppets, then they're the ones running the place.
Of course they are. They're the one that poison the ground. They're the one that after poisoning the ground make leave them food, because they thought, oh, we may have been a little over the line. They may be dead before we kill them. No, let's give them food.
So when they showed this scene with her, I'm like, okay, I've got the distinct impression they're going to kill paramedic girlfriend. After
I
she was
just
a
wanna-
primary character, they're going to bump her off. For this
I just want to
character.
find out if the oncoming baby is a mutant or a crow
Of
or
course
something.
it is. It's
She's turning
something
into a
horrible.
vampire now. Yeah, that's something horrible growing inside.
She
her.
eats rotten food and drinks human blood.
Yeah. Rotten food. Yum. That's the grossest thing of this entire series so far, is watching her eating rotten carrots and stuff.
Well, you know what's
I
funny
mean-
about that is you can distinctly hear the sound of biting into a pear, because a pear
Yeah.
has a very specific sound. And I think that's all they did, is they dressed up a pear. To sound,
Well,
'cause
whatever
that's
they
the
did,
sound of
it's-
a fresh pear.
Of everything else in the show, that's the one thing that's turned my stomach every time I see it. Like, oh,
Well, and now she's drinking blood. And when she stepped into the room with her dead body,
I
we
know.
already knew what was coming.
I knew
Why
it
do
was
you-
coming.
No,
Yeah.
please,
Nobody,
please, no. And
nobody's.
she-
It's like she's not even close with that bitch. They didn't like each other.
Why
Okay.
would she go in there to be alone?
Why
with
did
her?
she want to be alone with the body?
I like the smell.
Nobody thought that was weird.
Well, the other thing I'm still kind of ticked off too is that as we see in this scene here, Murder Girl, she was practically either possessed by or alongside the monsters in the first season, and that never really got explained or
they
paid
let
off
it
or
be
anything.
known that she was being plagued by voices.
Yeah, but it kind of disappeared, didn't it?
Now you give that to somebody who is religious. Well, they were done. That was the game. I got that. It's like they had all the fun with her that they wanted, and moving on to whatever's next.
And
Yeah,
then we're right
worst
back where we
medics
started
in the
again.
world here.
Yeah.
I'm with Ready for Raw on this one. The baby clearly has to be an alien because she can't get pregnant, yet she is. So something
Right.
put that in her.
Yes.
And it was not her boyfriend.
It's going to be a cicada, a giant cicada. He's going to
Giant-
come
Oh
out.
my God.
He's going to come out and he's say, "Hello, I am Brundle Cicada." Ah.
That's for those of you who don't know, that's from The Fly.
Brundlefly.
Yes, I'm referring to Brundlefly. Yes, we need, and they need to get Jeff Goldblum just to do like 2 seconds of audio. It's like,
My
hello.
favorite gag from that was, and I say gag as a gag, was when he spits out vomit drop
Yeah.
onto
The donut.
the
The donut.
donut.
Yeah.
And he looks up and he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. That was gross." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, it was. That was pretty gross. That was
Oh,
funky,
man.
dude."
Yeah, and then Bus Bully dies, and I
No,
don't
he
miss him.
doesn't. They keep
No.
him alive.
No, he doesn't.
Oh yeah,
He's
that's
alive.
true. That's true. That's true. Okay. But
Because
okay,
now
let me sorry, let me put it the other way. He gets attacked and captured or whatever, and I feel no fear for him because I never really liked him in the first. He never really endeared himself to me in any particular way. So
No,
The thing is,
it's easy
now
to
he's
write
gonna have-
dislikable characters, and they wrote a dislikable character.
yeah,
they're gonna have him have more beef against
Boyd.
Boyd, and put everybody against Boyd because he left me to die.
yeah.
He
Or this is his redemption arc of sort of like taking one for the team or something. I don't know.
Nah.
You don't think so? Okay.
We are still waiting for a proper character arc on that one.
It's all here to break Boyd for some reason.
Yeah. And I mean, if he's really still alive and we're not just made to think that, he does have beef with Boyd because Boyd got to choose between the.
Yeah,
the
because
car
he
keys
yells
and
at him, for leaving him.
He chose the keys to the fucking truck instead of saving a life. Of course, the guy's angry.
Do you think
Well,
this entire
he chose it to save everybody inside the inn.
Yes. He chose
Yeah, but-
3 people instead of 1. And
But
did
he's
and
an
did
asshole. He's an
Even
asshole, remember?
Spock would agree with what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that dude is an ass. So all that counts to him is he left me.
Oh, I
He's simple
guarantee
as
you.
that.
I guarantee you, even the people he saved in the ambulance are going to turn against him. Oh, you left him. Yeah, but I did save you. I don't care. You left him.
You know what? This is all Victor's fault. This entire thing is Victor's fault. Victor is projecting this world around because he's so scared of people leaving him that he's created a world where nobody can leave and he can never be alone because he was psychically traumatized with whatever happened before. And now the place is trying to help Victor because like something happened and it thinks it's making it's Victor his friend or something. And so Victor, you'll never be alone again. People will never be able to leave you.
Is
So,
what's really
the-
going on here. I will go on a killing spree.
So this is WandaVision version of Lost.
Well, so I'm trying to think of, okay, if we were to go outside of this is a mechanically created cabin in the woods sort of thing, if this isn't some super duper alien ant farm kind of deal, I'm trying to think, okay, if we're going to go for something the most abstract possible, what is the psychological function of this town? The psychological function of this town is you arrive, you can never leave, you're forced to work together, and there's an outside threat that is going to ensure that everyone has to rely on one another. Now, what kind of psychological situation would you find yourself in where those things would fulfill your needs? And if Victor was left by his father, and then his mother and his sister died or whatever, and he's all alone, and then he's only got one playmate, I don't know. Maybe I'm just out there and I realize that supposedly Victor was there when the thing started, so he couldn't have been the initial cause of it. Maybe he's just the most recent carrier of the issue. But either way, I'm just trying to think, okay, well, so if the town represents somebody's psychology, this is a codependent abandonment issues situation, right? They run out of food. Oh, but wait, there's food over here. So you might have a reason to try to leave, but no. Now there's an excuse to stay and still have hope. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too out there.
Wait, Scribe. Maybe it's not the representation of somebody's state of mind. Maybe the place needs someone like Victor to exist, like a battery.
Ha. That's interesting.
Okay, yeah, that could be an extension of that. Like it, yeah. So it's a parasitical relationship, kind of a symbiotic
Yep.
one. Yeah, because if he, so do we know that the massacre that started this when Victor was a kid, that was the monsters, right?
Mhm.
Supposedly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And the whole town is kind of an artifact of effectively the time that Victor was a child. So that's sort of time and place. The late 70s, I think, is supposedly when that
So-
town kind of
So
resided.
we could say that the place didn't choose Victor's mom. It used Victor's mom to bring Victor to the town.
Maybe Victor's mom
Oh.
did invent it after all. She was on
Oh, so
drugs
she's
when
seeing
she
all
started
these
thinking.
visions. Yeah.
Only
So
to
she's
get Victor then to them.
okay. So she's seeing all these visions. They're being transmitted to her somehow. And then she finds the magic tree and takes Victor and her daughter through because I mean the town presumably existed as a normal town at one point before everything went wacky.
That's what it
And
looked like.
yeah, the implication was Victor lived there his entire life. So she must have moved there after leaving dad, but after she'd already had these visions and made the bottle tree in the middle of the park somewhere back in Maine. It is ridiculous how much lore I've memorized of this stupid show. God damn it.
What'll be interesting is if it ends because it's nothing more than a fever dream with somebody who's overdosed on a drug somewhere.
I hope it better not be a I shot JR kind of thing. It better not be.
Oh, wake up the next morning and
Yeah,
you know,
if it cuts to Patrick Duffy in a shower in the last episode, I'll go on a murder spree.
Thank God.
that's a new catchphrase for the show. If that happens, I go on a murder spree.
That's right. But if it's the equivalent of I woke up and it was all a dream. No, I mean,
Now, according
if
to Donut Operator, of course, it was inevitable to happen that someone was going to get shot accidentally because it's a female cop.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Because he's pointed out on his show, female cops are more likely to shoot somebody than a male cop.
Well, if they're in fear of their safety, yeah, they're only sort of.
That's what he's bringing into it.
Yeah, they're force
Yeah.
multiplier in the.
That's why you shouldn't have women working alone or working with just a bunch of other women. They're more apt to do harm.
Well, you could also interpret it as female cops have better aim. That's why they're more likely to shoot someone.
Look, I don't no doubt about that because I've known a lot of good shooters that were female. We got Body in the Road.
A body in the road.
One thing I don't get
Only one.
is I
Shut
mean,
up. Let me
Tabitha,
talk.
when she get back to the town and she starts, no, I would be grateful to get back to my family.
Well,
Yeah.
but she's grateful to get back, but it's at nighttime and like they're in the worst possible situation to arrive back at the town. Maybe is I think I kind of took that as her worry.
They arrived with daylight,
Yeah.
She wants
and she was trying to get back to the freaking town. Why does she's having a panic attack and say, "No, I'm here again"? Yes, you're in the place that you were trying to get to.
because she didn't do shit in the real world because there was no time. She was onto something.
They
when she
were
found it,
going
and then
to
she
find
started.
they were going to find the magic tree
The
to
magic
get back
tree.
into the place.
And,
Yeah.
they were looking for answers and didn't get any.
Yeah, and then they got hit by the magic bus. The magic school bus hit them, and then suddenly they're back in the town again. Mrs. Frizzle was behind the wheel. It's like, send you back to town. No.
And of course, the only thing I think about is The Who and their song Magic Bus.
Oh, okay. Tommy, can you hear me?
My God, I haven't heard that in decades.
Oh, that came up last night on my Ted Excellent show. Inside jokes about somebody in the show used the name Tommy, and suddenly there was a whole bunch of The Who jokes about Tommy, Pinball Wizard. And now we have, so Shot Lady drinking blood. 'Cause when I first started watching this, so I thought the monsters were vampires. I thought that was part of the shtick, is that it was a vampire colony or something. But no, that's not what it is.
It's just like they just kill. They don't eat. They just kill.
Yeah,
And
and for what purpose? Yeah,
Fun. I told you, for fun.
Yeah, but they have these sigil things, these rocks that keep them away, or at least supposedly keep them away.
The talisman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is part of the game.
Yeah.
They need to keep their prey alive for a while. And that's also there's that thing that give them a little hope, so they can run. If they think they may survive, it's a better hunting.
Brutal.
They should make a hot air balloon. And
No.
Well, we've learned
keep going.
that things bad will come.
I
if
know.
they
Lightning will shoot. Yeah. They try to make the radio tower. Lightning comes along. Yeah, I know. Yeah, which makes it almost like completely pointless to try to do anything. It's like, well, then we're always going to end up back here. We're always going to be defeated. There's no solving this.
It's Bane's prison in Dark Knight.
Yeah, no matter what we do, they always have an equal and opposite force.
Yeah,
to fight.
because they're effectively godlike adversaries, whoever they are. And I still don't understand the music box thing. That just seemed like such a... I'm speaking of mystery boxes. What was that all about? What did it do? What did it mean? What?
Well, also the radio in the car when she's in the real world, it turns on all of a sudden.
Yeah. Oh, that's our song. That's our song. Why do you have this in your glove box? This is the same bracelet that my husband gave me. That
bracelet is so weird. What is it with that?
I think it's a stupid Easter egg or some kind of rabbit hole. It's supposed to mean, just like of everything else in this show. Like we think it's going to mean something. We keep getting teased with it, and it just doesn't lead anywhere. Nobody else has talked about having that bracelet. Nobody else, like if everybody in the town was like, my grandmother had that kind of bracelet or this, that, they're like, oh, but no, just them.
And we've already learned, because of season 2, that apparently they can reach out into the real world because the bus has the girlfriend on it.
Right.
Not an accident.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
and
how do they do that? Like what? And they're still showing it this season. They're showing that they reach out and they turned on the radio.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous.
And I thought when the bus first showed up at the end of season 2, I had a thought of, oh, this is going to be a bus from like the 1950s.
That would have been
something.
Neat.
I thought that like people from other times and places. I mean, obviously other places show up, but then we're gonna start having people from other eras show up. Or that's not the case. So everybody's here contemporarily. Nobody's here from a different time period or something, except for those that have lived here so long, like Victor, that they're effectively from a different time.
40 years.
But I still have the idea that somebody in the show is like a plant of the bad guys. We just don't know it yet. They're going to turn out to be a betrayer or something.
I still think the old lady is.
Yeah, the old lady seems like the most likely candidate for that. But of course, she hasn't really had anything to do with anybody of any note up to this point. Like she hasn't gotten herself involved in anything.
Well, she's always there with the black kid when he's having a dream. She's even in the dream.
They really made out like he was going to be some... Sorry.
And she's not even quirky. She's just fucking weird.
They really made out in season 2 like that kid was going to be something significant, and he just kind of failure to launch this whole time is like some plot element or something.
You keep forgetting about him until he's
No, because he doesn't do
somehow
anything. He
in
never
the
shows
show.
up or
Yeah.
does anything. Yeah.
He's in some shots asking if he's alive or sleeping. That's all.
Yeah, he was having these visions. He seemed like they didn't know why he was there. Well, of course, he was the guy that kind of knew about the place before he arrived. And as far as I can recall, they've never really done anything with that premonition of his all the way up to this point. So,
Oh well, there's one thing. He keeps seeing the dead
yeah, the dead lady.
girl, and that's
Yeah.
Tabitha for sure. That has to be her.
Oh, it is
No,
absolutely
what's her name?
her.
Fatima. That's
Oh,
absolutely her.
the sister,
Not
you
to be
mean, or
mistaken
the
with
mom?
Fat Tina.
No, the pregnant woman.
They're
The
supposedly
girl is
starving to
deceased.
death, and there's that fat girl there, and I'm like,
Oh, you think he's having a vision of her?
Yeah, that's what we
that's
thought when
future Fatima.
Oh,
when
I
he
thought
first sees
it
her.
was Victor's mom.
No.
Oh, no.
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
Fatima. And he first sees her when she drowns him, when he's in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
When he sees her the first time, and both Gary and I were like, wait, is that her? Is she dying? What's going on? That has to be her.
I didn't even
It's
think about
becoming-
that.
It's becoming clearer and clearer that this has to be Fatima. So what is happening with her, with that baby inside that shouldn't be there?
I was trying to
He's
think
the only
of
one seeing that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like significant female characters that are dead or presumed dead. And I kept thinking it must be Victor's mom or something, but okay.
No.
You know, I think I was convinced it was Fatima too, but the last time I saw her in detail, I think it's an Asian woman.
An Asian woman?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's just bad CG.
And the
Yeah.
clothes.
Bad CG and
Everybody owns
Martine's
this
glasses
wrong.
need to be cleaned.
I think the big mistake they made this season was killing the kid's mom, because she was one of the better characters.
Yeah, and that kid's been tortured enough as it is. Jeez, Louise's dad was all messed up and he lost his crush because of lesbian love affair and all this. It's like, guy that can't catch a
Oh
break.
God, I'm so glad.
We
they
gotta
dropped
check the
that.
boxes, man. He
I
can't be
know.
in love, man. He can't
I
be in
know.
love. Sorry.
I'm glad they moved on from that because that was so cringy.
If anybody should break, it should be him. I think he has a little bit here and there, but he's apparently still functional. Like, look, we found food. But yeah, at the end of every one of these episodes, I always ask myself, just like with most shows, like, okay, where did we start? Where have we ended? And how have we progressed? And like this and so many other shows, I just feel like inches when it should be miles. It's just, yeah. Oh, let me warn you off of a very terrible show on Netflix. If you haven't already watched it, don't. There's 2 seasons of it. It's called Dark Winds on Netflix. Dark Winds. It takes place on an Indian reservation in the 70s. It is one of the largest wastes of time I've spent in the last 6 months watching a show. It's sort of like this. You keep expecting something to happen or be explained. It's not a mystery show in that sense, like From. It's kind of a sort of a procedural police arching mystery thing, but the mysteries are so badly constructed and the characters are so ridiculously thin that I kept waiting for nothing eventually. So just stay away from it. It's called Dark Winds. If you see it on Netflix,
Yeah, I
just
saw the trailer
stay
for it,
away.
and it didn't look interesting to me
Yeah,
as far as
no,
story
I gave
goes.
I gave it a shot because the lead actor in it is he was on Longmire, which I liked a lot.
Yep.
He had a bit part in Bone Tomahawk. I like the actor. The cast looked pretty decent, but it is terrible writing. And
you
God,
have A. Martinez in it, who's been around.
Yep,
for
yeah. A. Martinez shows up in
80s.
season 2. Yeah, he shows up in season 2.
And
That's all right.
Zahn McLaren is the guy you're talking about that was on
Yes, that's his name.
Longmire.
Yes.
I'll tell you right now, the mystery show that I say nailed it from the get-go is Monsieur Spade.
Haven't seen it, but I've seen the ad for
That's
it.
Very
and watched
good.
it.
worth a watch.
Is that one
And
worth
And
a
I'm
watch? Okay.
hoping they figure out how to have a another season because I so
Okay.
thoroughly enjoyed that.
Is that Netflix?
By the way, from what I've seen, Victor likes to steal things from dead people.
Well, he looks like a dead person for crying. That actor, I tell you what, I guess Jade and him are the two most standout sort of characters of the entire series that sort of really are. I can't say I like Victor because he's just a plot device most of the time, but the actor's obviously putting his all into it.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
and
weird
he's a stage
character.
actor. That's what he's most
Yeah.
known for, is being a stage
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah, it feels like some of that series.
Looks like
He's
he was
just,
born to play Abraham Lincoln.
yeah, or just like the creepy mortuary caretaker guy or something.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
about Victor is he's been there ever since he was a kid, without other kids around. So he never grew up really. He's a grown up now, but inside he's still a kid, and he's neither alive nor dead really. He's
You know,
somewhere in
if
between.
if they ever reboot Phantasm, he could play the tall man.
Oh yeah,
He'd
Oh,
be a
yeah.
great tall man. The Angus
have
Scrim
Mike in the
Part
chat.
2, yeah.
and I do think he's one of the best actors on the show. But I want
Yeah.
to point out that yes, we finally returned to the dummy.
I forgot the dummy existed.
I
Because the
forgot
first time
too.
we see it is in the cave.
Yeah. Another prop mystery. Just gosh dang it. Stop it. Answer one question before you bring up 7 more, please.
Nope, they're not doing that.
And also found it weird that Donna here, because of that one girl getting shot, suddenly that's when Donna has her breakdown after
Breakdown, right.
everything else.
Yeah.
It's like, I realize that everybody's probably sitting on razor thin edges most of the time anyway, but of all the characters, now Donna has a breakdown
And the
in front of
complete
Boyd.
one of that. That is not
Yeah.
her character. That's not who she is.
No, that was just
Yeah,
so
I'm just-
bizarre.
I'm just kind of reminded of Gary tied to the couch. You know, it's like
Oh yeah, it was perfect. Yeah.
it's like I know you gentlemen have had a really tough time here, but I'd appreciate it if at some point you could untie me
From this
Yeah.
fucking
fucking
couch.
couch. You know, everybody has their snapping point, but at
Yeah.
least be cool about how you snap. And hers is just a blubbering fucking what? And then
Yeah, like if she like I could have bought that if something like over the course of Tabitha's pregnancy or whatever, right? Like if Donna like suddenly like got hope again, goes, oh, here's some new
Fatima,
life.
yeah.
Fatima, sorry, Fatima. If it's like, oh, there's some new life, and like Donna felt this sort of like motherly, grandmotherly thing, and then she lost the baby, and then Donna loses it because that little spark of hope had been taken away from them or something, that would make more sense. Random girl that was, I don't even remember her name, was shot and killed, and then it's like, why somebody thought that? Like, shut up.
It's not just
Give me a
that. In the
break.
beginning of this season, she starts playing the blame game with Boyd, and I'm like, what's the point? You have shit
Right.
to figure out. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
whose fault it is or whose fault you think it is. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Of all the
That's when
characters
she
in the
started to
show,
get
those
annoying.
yeah, those are the two
right?
characters in the show that are supposed to be like the pillars of each community and have a better idea of what's going on or what isn't and what's worth your time and what isn't. I mean,
Yeah, and
she's the one that like every time somebody shows up at the house and is like, "Oh my God, there's like monsters out there," and she's like, "Yeah, we know. Did you see the tree? Yeah, we saw the tree." She's already seen it all and done it all. So why does she constantly act like she's surprised by something? It just anyway. Now, the kid who plays young Victor, I kept looking, I'm thinking, he's got to have grown up since they first started filming this show, but maybe it's just me, but was he just like frozen in time or did they pre-film things or something? Because it doesn't look like he grew up much between season 1 and when we see him here. Or maybe he just...
You mean the kid in white?
No, the kid that plays young Victor.
young Victor.
Because they have new scenes with him originally, like picking up people's mementos and things. And I was paying close attention to those little clips because I thought, okay, they're filming whoever's picking them up from a wide angle at top, so it doesn't show the kid's face. So I thought maybe they used a double because I have to assume the kid would have grown up over the course of the last 3 or 4 years since the.
Maybe they cast a kid actor that has a younger brother, so they could use him.
Maybe ready for
Like
he
the
got
original
taller. Watch
TV
this.
show.
I thought he had gotten taller. I wasn't sure though because I mean maybe they just dressed him correctly and shot him from the right angle to make it look like he hadn't changed all that much. But that was the other thing I was paying attention to with the son is that when you have a little kid actor in a show, they can grow up real quick between seasons and noticeably so.
Yeah,
even if
1
no
year
time's
and
passed.
they can go through puberty. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the voice
Yeah.
can change too.
And Ready for Raw says that he does get taller.
Yeah, I thought maybe he
Tom
was,
Baker
but I wasn't sure.
says, why not squeeze in Nomads tomorrow before McTiernan's follow-up to Predator? We already have a show scheduled, Tom, right?
Yeah,
We
Tom.
have this,
Jeez.
Tom, this is for tomorrow.
American Werewolf in London. The new Wolfman trailer dropped today.
Oh, it's garbage.
Yeah, well, it's even more garbage because apparently the director-writer guy says, yeah, it's not about a curse. It's more of an infection. And I'm like, oh. And, watching it, you know what I thought? This is how jaded I've become. I watched that trailer and I think to myself, this is the guy who made or helped make the Invisible Man movie, which was basically a Me Too allegory. And I'm thinking,
it's so
Oh,
bad.
God.
Because here's my problem with it. Despite
Mhm.
everything going up to that final scene,
Mhm.
for it to work, he had to sit there with his hands in a specific position for
Yes.
it to happen.
Well,
And that's
yeah.
stupid.
Here's my concern for this movie, given that pedigree. I can't
Man
help but
bad.
think, not just man bad, MAGA. I think the Wolfman infection is Republicanism, Trumpism, whatever. I think it's supposed to be an allegory
I'm sure
for
it's
like
in there.
dad read too much QAnon and now he's a monster, that kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah,
at least
dangerous.
they have,
Dads are dangerous.
at least there are some consistency there. It has to be an infection because that werewolf looked like he's sick for ages.
Yeah, no, I get wary of that movie. It's like, oh, it's an infection now. Oh no, messaging.
Now-
I just feel like it's gonna be messaging.
Now he goes to the window. Here we see the scene where he
Yep.
looks out and he's not dead. He's just injured.
Right.
Put there to help.
Why
break
the locusts or the
Wait,
the cicadas?
Even more than injured, he's hurt.
Aw.
And that's it. The end. Until next time.
Oh, good Lord, this show. So let's see. So yes, let me get back to this. This is tomorrow's show. And then Sunday is date night for Anima and me. We spend our day together. And then comes
Ooh.
Military Monday. We'll be
Ooh,
doing
what are we doing
for
Predator
this one?
because it is a military movie.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
If it bleeds, you can kill it.
Kill it.
So we'll be doing Predator on Monday for Military Monday. And then I don't know what we're doing for Wednesday. What are we doing Wednesday?
Oh, Silent Slot, the remake.
The reboot. The
Oh.
remake that should have never happened. But look, the good things I can say for it, I can say right now in moments. One, I like that they did it as a period piece and didn't make it modern. I actually like the casting for the most part. I really did. I like the casting. My problem is how the characters were written, and they were badly written. You have a doctor that is just stupid. They changed the characters around too. They made Catherine now the receptionist at the real estate office instead of just graduating, coming back home to help her family, and then the real estate thing just dies right there. It's like, that's the only scene. That's it. You don't get to see the first kill being the real estate agent, and the Glicks were fucked up and how they showed their deaths. Gosh, there were so many things they fucked up in that. Ben Meir, they got him completely wrong. Great casting, terrible writing for his character. Then they have a quick, fast wrap up at the end. They killed all the vampires. I'm like, did you even read the book? You know, because the TV miniseries, the original one movie, is closer to the book than you. And that's why it's a better one, because they kept the best parts from the Stephen King book. This thing was just a mess. One thing I really liked, they remembered that the town is being eaten and becoming vampires. So they actually show people standing out there on their rooftops with their eyes glowing. The glowing cross thing was weird, stupid. Like, what is that? It's like, is the vampire
ridiculous.
making it glow? Like, I don't understand why is it glowing? The power of Christ compels you. Is that what's going on? I don't know. They had a lot of things that were nonsensical within it. And the only thing I did like in that final battle was how they dealt with Barlow. I thought that was pretty cool. Past that, the movie was nonsensical, just nonsense. The
You know what I
bully scene,
assume?
nonsense.
You know what I assume every time I say a horror movie now that's a period piece. My initial assumption is this is to avoid the story breaking element of cell phones.
Yep.
Like the first time I ever thought that, it was this movie called I think it was called Hell House or something, and it was set in like 1984 or something like that, and it was just this sort of like babysitter being stalked by evil family couple or something. But as soon as they started, and it was like, oh, we understood it was a period piece. I was like, oh, this is to stop the thing about cell phones ruining everything. Just like when they did the I Spit on Your Grave remake. The first thing they did was have the main character accidentally drop her cell phone in the toilet so she can't contact anybody. It's like, oh man, just said it 20 years ago, so you don't have to worry about that. But anyway.
Yeah. Technology has ruined all good horror.
It's
Hell
true.
House. What was this? Who is in
I think it
this?
was called Hell House. Let me find
Hell
it.
House
here real quick.
LLC. I found it. 2015 found footage supernatural horror written and directed by Stephen Cognetti.
No, that's not it. I must have the. I'll find it. It's not that. It wasn't a found footage movie. It wasn't. It was something like Hell House, but I can't remember the name of it now.
I just like making films, period, because when you don't have technology to save you, that was a scary fucking time.
Sure. House of the Devil. Pardon me. House of the Devil. In 2009, college student takes a babysitting job during a lunar eclipse. Yeah. House of the Devil. It's set in like the early 80s,
I remember
think.
this house. Yeah.
Yeah, House of the Devil. It was okay.
It gets a whopping big 6.3 stars on IMDb.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't, it wasn't great.
Oh, Noonan was in it. I love Noonan.
That's Tim Noonan.
Yep,
Is that his name? Yeah.
Tom Noonan.
Tom
Greta
Noonan. Yeah, Tom
Gerwig
Noonan.
is in it too.
Yes, back before she was Miss Barbie. But, well, hey, I got a split, unfortunately, at the top of the hour here.
Mary Warrenov was in it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know or remember her. She was big on the low budget horror and comedies from the 70s.
Oh, she played the wife of the duo with Tom Noonan.
Yeah, this is great because she was in the infamous film Eating Raoul, which is a favorite of mine. I love that movie.
Race
with the Devil. Yeah, Peter Fonda. That's another one of those films where evil wins.
Yay!
Yay, evil! Yay! No,
that's the best kind of winning.
I guess the devil had his Wheaties that day.
No. God may be all powerful, but the devil's a better dresser. Sometimes it's just cooler when the bad guy wins.
Yeah. So, the movie. I don't know. I would do it. I mean, you had a couple in that film. And one of the what's his name was so good in that. Oh my God, Western actor. He was in Blue Thunder with Roy Scheider as the captain, the chief, or whatever you want to call him.
Don't know.
My God, I'm having a brain fart here. I can see his face. He was Sergeant Hulk in Stripes.
Oh God. Yeah, I could see his face too. Hold on.
I'll just look him up real quick.
Yeah. Warren Oates.
Warren fucking Oates.
Yeah.
God, what a great actor. He and Peter Fonda take their significant others. One of them is Loretta Swit. And I think she was Warren Oates' wife. And then Peter Fonda and his girl. And because he's what do you call it? He rides those bikes where they ride real low to the road. He's a racer. So they think they're going to escape this shit. But no, by the time they think they've survived, they find themselves surrounded by the devil worshippers at the end. Yeah, he died after principal photography. But yeah, he died right after Blue Thunder. Massive coronary.
Well, hey guys, I got a split unfortunately, but it was nice having that opportunity to vent about.
Ironically, we're ending too.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well then, all right, good timing then.
Yeah, so I will just end the show here, and I will do my thing real quick where I do that, and then I do that, and I go romper stomper romper do. Tell me who are the little shitheads that watch this show today? I see Tom Baker. I see FKC 2005, also known as Tim. I see Venkman's Girl. I see Penny. I see Mephisto. I see Swirly. Ready for Raw. Real Wade Nation Gaming. Snortopupus Cuber. And Comic Relief Crusader, my buddy Mike. And Papa Socks was here. And I see Tommy and Billy and Scribe Light and Martine and lovely Anima. So yeah, that's everybody. Fuck anybody else. So and that's
how you make the audience like you.
Yay! They like us.
I'm just happy
thanks for
he's
dropping
not
in,
a fairy
Scribe Light.
godmother.
You're not playing your game today, Gary?
I don't feel like it. Yeah,
okay.
I don't feel like it.
That's fine.
But I do have this video that's important and has to be played. Hey guys, don't forget to click that like, subscribe, and notification button. We appreciate you watching the show. Now, back to it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be talking about a little bit of one of my favorite films of all time, An American Werewolf in London. And what's funny is it was made just a couple of years after I was in London. And so I recognized everything, including the porn shop there, or a porn theater.
Oh,
I'm like, Dad, I remember that theater. We walked right by there. Yeah, we walked right by. So see you guys tomorrow. And don't forget tonight, there's no John show tonight, right? He's not making a show. Okay, so you've got Friday Night Frolics with Doomcock. And of course, Loki may be doing a show later tonight. I don't know if we're going to be there because I've been getting really tired and wanting to go to bed at a normal time. So if I don't see you guys then, we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a happy Friday.